guys, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time I'm talking about something that I want to talk about. So, Transformers Siege and Earthrise. I love the brand new Transformers Generations toys. The articulation is a lot better, and the quality is a lot better by comparison to a lot of the Power of the Primes toys that kind of had a dive bomb in quality. It was just so impressive that there's a lot of brand new Transformers toys that I want them to make. And so I'm going to do a list of 10 Transformers that I want them to do. A lot of people say they want a new Earthrise Devastator, and I think it's a little too early by comparison to the Combiner Wars one. I think it should be given a little more time. Some people want a Bumblebee, and I'm just like, I don't really want a Bumblebee right now in the Generations toy line. So this is going to be a personal list, and also it's not going to be a top 10 list. It's just 10 figures that I would like to see in the new Generations toy line. So, anyways, with that, let's start with the first one. Personally, I think it would be pretty cool to see a Battle Master version of Megatron. Now, obviously, this wouldn't be in scale with anything, but Megatron as a handheld weapon isn't going to really work out unless he is in that scale. If you guys recall, there was a Reveal the Shields version of Megatron that could actually fit in the hand of some of the Masterpiece toys. And I think that it would be kind of interesting to see something like that again, and maybe a Megatron with a 5mm port that could be used for the Siege or Earthrise Starscream. I think that'd be pretty nice. Next one is one that I feel like people really want, and that is a Leader Class Starsaber. And hopefully something that's actually Leader Class this time around. Yeah, I feel like it's about time we got a Starsaber. People have been wanting it, people have been asking for it. I'm pretty sure by now Hasbro knows that people want a Starsaber. It's like the #1 thing that people really want, and people kind of expected, especially during the Power of the Primes toy line, where you had that kind of armor setup with an actual Prime itself. It seemed perfect for Starsaber. And then you take a look at the Siege line with Ultra Magnus and Galaxy Force Optimus Prime, and you can make an argument Astrotrain. So I feel like it's time that we got a Starsaber. Next one's a little more personal. It is Armada Demolisher. I really want a new Armada Demolisher, and nothing that's going to be a repaint of some other toy. I want a purely made, brand new Armada Demolisher. Now, you could also argue that the Demolisher that's already out is actually fine. You know, it's got decent articulation, especially by comparison to a lot of the other Armada toys, but I just feel like Generations really needs that character again. The next one, a recent rumor pretty much said that this could potentially be happening. It is the Seeker set of Coneheads. So that is Thrust, Ramjet, and Dirge. Recently we got a report that said that Thrust is coming out, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do get that, because the current Earthrise Seeker mold for Starscream kind of suggests that we could potentially get that, because that mold seems to be heavily based on the Classics toy. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think it's time that we got the Coneheads. People have been wanting it. We've had so many Seekers in the past. You know, we had the War for Cybertron, we had the Power of the Primes, we had the Siege and whatnot. Where's the Coneheads? The next one would definitely go with the Mercenaries that they're doing in Earthrise, and that is a Deluxe Class Lockdown. Now, I also thought that the Wheeljack mold might actually work out for a Lockdown, personally. Now, I would like a totally new mold for Lockdown, but I think that if they wanted to go for Wheeljack, they could. I feel like it could work. Next one's a little more biased. It is the Robots in Disguise tow line. I don't know why. I really like this character. I like his design, and I just really want to see some representation in the Generations toy line. I feel like that's at the bottom of the list for Transformers, but he's so obscure and people really do recognize him, or at least is starting to recognize him, that I just want to see him in some form. I feel like we should follow up to this, especially considering we got Soundwave and cassette Decepticons already. It's Blaster. Why don't we have a Blaster yet? It seems like they could remold it from the Soundwave if they want to, or they could make a completely new mold. You know, I'm fine with that too. But I feel like if you're going to have Soundwave and a whole bunch of cassettes in the Micromaster toy line, I feel like you should lead that up to Blaster and have his little Micromasters and cassette guys and whatnot. I don't think that's a bad idea. Another biased one, it is the Cybertron evac. Simply just, why not? I want to see a Cybertron evac come back. I want to see Cybertron and Energon and Armada toys being brought back in Generations, because it's Generations, you know, it's not just about Generation 1. I mean, I was excited for the Hotshot, even though it was a repaint of Hound, and I really liked that toy. So I feel like they need to branch off into that, you know, into more of the expanded universe. But one thing that constantly came to mind was Cybertron evac. I loved that toy originally growing up. I still have it, but it's not in the best condition. But yeah, Cybertron evac, it's just one I want to see. We've got Crosshairs. I really want to see a Point Blank figure. And I think the reason why I specifically chose this one is because you can easily make it out of the Punch Counterpunch figure. In fact, I thought that with the Punch Counterpunch, we would eventually see that turn into Point Blank, but we haven't seen that yet. So far, Punch Counterpunch, as of recent, has been the only figure that has not shared the same mold as any other Transformer currently. Which is kind of interesting, and it does kind of make sense considering his gimmick is very unique to him, but I just feel like it could have been so easy for them to make a Point Blank if they wanted to, and they just haven't yet. Maybe they will eventually in the future, but I just feel like they had the opportunity and they're not really taking up on it. And last but not least, another one that's more biased, it is the Generation 2 Thunderclash. We already have these leader class toys with a bunch of weapon platforms and whatnot, and accessories and add-ons and whatever you want to call it. I feel like Thunderclash is easy to do in that toy line. Now, again, this is a very obscure character, but we got Select's Power Dashers. I feel like Thunderclash isn't really out of the question. I love the color scheme, you know, it's kind of wacky out there and whatnot, but yeah, I also love that platform mode. I think that thing looks really good. So, out of everything in Generation 2, I think that I really want to see a Thunderclash. So those are 10 figures that I really want to see. What do you guys think? Please comment below. Let me know. What is your list? With that, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. And I will see you guys next time.